Sorry about that, folks, but I'm back and welcome back to the Phightins Final. As I said with your boy, Matty B, here on the Edge of Philly Sports. And as I said last night, as I was saying all along, it was awesome to be on with Al last night on the show, kind of recapping a Phillies win. But unfortunately, I guess all the good vibes of yesterday, well, they got flushed right out into the Ohio River today because the Phillies were pounded by the Cincinnati Reds today, in a tune of 13-0. Matt Strom showing why he's a relief pitcher and not a starter, as he just was not good, not, not good today. As he was, he wasn't really awful, but he just wasn't good enough. And then, of course, the putrid Philadelphia Philly offense continues to chunk along here in 2023. One good game, 3-4 bad games. Today was another bad game by them offensively. They mustered really only 4 hits. They got a weird, wonky infield single there in the 9th inning to kind of keep the game alive, but just not enough offense. As Rob Thompson, who everybody, the guy touched everything last year to turn the gold. Right now, Rob Thompson to me seems lost. I don't think Rob Thompson knows what he's doing, and I don't know if he's going to be able to pull them out of this. This team is not. They're not playing well, and now they're 5-10 as this month kind of churns on. If you take a look at things the way they were last year at this point, 6-9 through 15 games. Granted, it was only one game worse this year, but last year we were already calling for Joe Girardi's head. So what's the difference here? Is it because Rob Thompson took him to a World Series? Yeah, I guess maybe, but how long does that check last? But right now, the Rob Thompson doesn't seem to have any answers. The move to Bilotti there in this game is befuddling me. Bilotti is I don't know what the deal between them two is. Bilotti's on pace to pitch like 100 games this year. It's not going to work. He seems a little fried up right now, but yet they keep going back to him. And obviously today it cost the team 13-0, the final score out there in Cincinnati. And let's head to the box score, shall we, and kind of recap how all the scoring in this went down. The Reds got it going, and they got it going in the 2nd inning. Will Myers, his first home run of the day, a 406-foot blast to make it 1-0. And that would really be the only run that the Reds needed, but they got a little bit more. In the 3rd, Will Myers blew the thing open with a 3-run shot right after the Phillies decided to make the switch out of to take Strom out. Next pitch or so, it's 4-0. 3-run shot by Myers. India would double in Barrero in the 4th to make it 5-0. Myers, who had himself a day, would double in Fairchild to make it 6-0. Friedel would knock in Stevenson to make it 8-0. Myers also scored on that play. Fairchild hits a sac fly to score Caselli in the 8th, making it 9-0. Stevenson would then knock in Vossler to make it 10-0. Senzel knock in Stevenson to make it 11-0. And then Barrero knocks in Senzel to make it 13-0, as well as Myers, who scored yet another run. Most of these late 8th inning runs were all off of Josh Harrison, who made his 2nd pitching appearance in 2023. That's right, folks. 15 games in, and we've already gone to we've already had a position player pitch in 2 games. Not very encouraging for the Philadelphia Phillies as they lost today 13-0. As I mentioned, how can you look at Will Myers and not give him offensive player of the game nods? 4 for 5, scored 4 runs, 5 RBIs, 2 home runs. He also had a strikeout. But Will Myers, hands down, defeated the Philadelphia Phillies today as they went on to beat the Phillies 13-0. On the Philly side, well, when you only get 5 hits, I don't know really who offensively you want to kind of look at. Just a bunch of offers. It's a bunch of offers in the lineup. I really don't even want to talk about offensive prowess here because the Phillies had none. On the pitching side of things, as mentioned, Matt Strom, 2.5. He gave up 5. He gave up 2 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. Walked 3, struck out 6. How did he strike out 6 and get so dinged up? Bilotti came in, and that was the home run that Myers hit that blew things over. He lasted an inning, a third, 2 hits, 2 runs. Both of them were earned. He had a walk, 2 strikeouts, and a home run. Leave Andrew Bilotti alone. I think he needs about a 6-day rest without being touching a baseball because the guy seems pretty clueless right now out there on the mound. He seems gassed in game 15. McKinley Moore, Vasquez, Soto, and then the aforementioned Josh Harrison would also finish things up for the Phillies. Harrison, his line, an inning, 6 hits, 5 runs. They were all earned. He had a walk as his ERA now is up to 27. So Josh Harrison, not really too well as a pitcher. On the red side of things, Ashcroft was dealing today. 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 4 walks. No runs, of course. Farmer and Lagumian in there would come out and finish it up for the Phillies. Ashcroft gets the win at 2-0, and Matt Strom shouldered with today's loss. He is now 1-1 on the season. The Phillies fall to 5-10, and as I mentioned, though, this is only one game worse than we were last year. I don't know if that's going to bring solace to anybody. It's bringing solace to me because I'm looking for anything right now to grasp on. Walter sits, meetings will occur at Great American Ballpark. Yeah, Walter, they will, and they are. And now the Phillies tomorrow are looking for an opportunity to salvage this series. I mean, they got to win this thing. They got to win tomorrow. I don't know what's got to happen. I see a team right now that maybe all the comments coming out of spring training or everything that I've heard about the spring training unpreparedness, maybe that's true because this team seems very, very uninspired. They're playing very uninspired baseball. The sequence with Trey Turner, where he's jogging up the line, he doesn't realize the ball. First of all, he comes out of the box half speed, realizes that there could be a potential of him beating out the play, turns it on. The ball then is overthrown, and then he kind of just jogs around first and then gets thrown out at second. I mean, what kind of nonsensical fundamental baseball is that? And that comes on the manager, folks. That is the manager's job to kind of clean that crap up. That was the Phillies' 9th base running blunder of the 2023 season. The 9th, meaning that it's a 9th Philly player to get thrown out on the bases this season. And that is the manager, man. That is fundamental baseball that this team is obviously not prepared to do or prepared to execute. Now, what's Rob Thompson going to do about it? Because that's his job to fix this. But just really embarrassing to see that happening when you're playing on a team that's 5-9 at that time, and you're going to come busting out the box half speed, and then get thrown out at second because you kind of coasted in there. Man, that was embarrassing. Dave Yarnold chimes in. Hey, what's up, Matty B? What's up with Turner running the bases today? Well, I just kind of went on my rant about that, Dave. I don't know what's up with Turner running the bases today. It was very embarrassing, and it's going to kind of stick in my head probably for the most of the season. I don't know, but as I said, that was the 9th. He was the 9th Phillies player to be thrown out on the bases this year. 9th. That's fundamental baseball, folks. That is the manager's job. Blow Lottie and McKinley Moore take the wind out of them. Moore goes from over 15 ERA to over 21 ERA. Yeah, Walter, I mentioned that as well at the top. Andrew Bellotti, it's kind of mystical. It boggled my mind why he went with him in that situation. Bellotti has been working his ass off. Don't know why he would go to him. And obviously, I don't think Bellotti needs to touch a ball for a while now because I just think he's tired. I mean, Andrew Bellotti's a quality reliever, but they've just used the crap out of him early on this season, and it has not worked. McKinley Moore was the feel-good story coming out of spring training. I don't remember anything about this guy other than the fact that he needs to head on back down to Lehigh. Now, unfortunately, the fact is we just don't have anybody else. We're still waiting on Ranger Suarez. Once Ranger comes back, Matt Strom will go back in the bullpen. We could probably send McKinley Moore or Vasquez or one of those, any of those other pitchers back down to Lehigh. But right now, he consistently goes back to these guys. I don't know, man. I don't know. Walter, they have the Astros and Braves coming up. How are they going to win those series? Walter, I'm not even looking past. I'm not looking at the Astros Braves. I'm looking at the goddamn White Sox Rockies. Let's keep this thing in perspective. Astros Braves, man, that's like a million years from now. We got the White Sox and the Rockies to deal with because right now the Phillies can't beat anybody. So, Astros and Braves be damned. What are we going to do about the White Sox and Rockies, man? But I got your point, Walter. But it's just very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. Let's take a look around Major League Baseball today, as there were a lot of games. I think everybody's in action. It's Saturday, and it's in the spring. Of course, everyone's playing. So far, games that are currently ongoing is the Guardians hold a 5-4 lead over the Nationals in the bottom of the sixth. The Braves are up early 4-1 over the Royals in the bottom of the third. And the Rangers and Astros are 0-0 as they head to the third. A little bit later tonight, we got the Cubs and the Dodgers in LA, the Rockies and the Mariners in Seattle, and games that have gone final as well today. The Yankees defeat the Twins 6-1. The Tigers over the Giants 7-6. The White Sox over the Orioles 7-6. The Pirates over the Cardinals 6-3. And the Blue Jays over the Devil Rays 5-2, as well as the Padres all over the Brewers at 10-3. The Mets beat the A's 3-2. The Red Sox beat the Angels 9-7, and 3-2 Marlins victory over the Arizona Diamondbacks. And that's your action around Major League Baseball today. And don't forget EOP. It is Saturday. There was no Patterson Mathematics this morning. I think I'll explain that a little bit last night. I'm Phightins finaling you up right now. Then tomorrow you got some PM and the AM, the all across all the time guys, and then we will also be Phightins finaling up here tomorrow afternoon as they complete this 4-game set against the Reds. In the meantime, if you're looking to travel like the pros, then you need to look no further than Phillies sports trips. This is a chock-filled, as we mentioned, this slide is a little bit out of date. Most of these trips are now sold out. The draft trip's still open, though. The Union and the Phillies twofer out to Denver on the 13th of May is still open. But all these other trips are sold out. But head over to their website. Check out all the stuff that is coming up this summer because there's a lot of it. Again, if you want to travel like the pros, then look no further than phillysportstrips.com and mention the draft. Let's get into it right now. Last year, I had the privilege. It was my first draft year with EOP. I had a blast. It's going to be bigger, better, and badder. And I mean better in a good way this year as we are gearing up for draft week. We will have coverage. We have coverage right now, but it's going to go uber hypered on draft week as we get you ready for this year's draft. That's in Kansas City. And don't forget, if you want to head out to Kansas City, don't look no further than Philly Sports Trips. So that's all the good stuff that we have coming up here on the network over the next couple weeks. So, yeah. Rob Hefner. Rob, greetings from Vegas, man. What's going on? The most dedicated man in podcasting business after the Phillies lost. I admire you for doing the show. Listen, Rob, I got you, man. And I'm anything but non-consistent. I may not have conventional takes on a lot of things, but I die on these hills. That's my soldier background. I was a soldier for 30 years, and I'm gonna get a mission. I'm gonna stick to it, and I'm gonna see the thing through to the end. And then that's kind of how. But I was rewarded last year, Rob. I stuck this thing out to the end, and I was rewarded by a World Series trip. So it's a bad product right now. It's a very, very bad product, but it was not a good product at this point last year. But I am interested now in knowing or understanding where are we going to place the blame. Last year was Joe Girardi. It was all about whipping Joe down, and I was not in favor of firing Joe Girardi. I'm a Joe Girardi guy. I like him as a manager, but he was the scapegoat last year. It was Joe Girardi. That's why this team stunk, because Binder Joe and all that, and he's given up and he's dead man. And what was it? Not dead man walking. What's the word for the manager that don't have the contract? You guys know what I mean. But he was that guy. So what is it this year? Are we going to still blame the manager? Because I don't see anything from this manager right now. I don't see any answers. I see a lot of attempts, but I don't see much working out. When is the ire going to go towards Rob Thompson? Or is he hands off like Carson Wentz was hands off, like Carter Hart was hands off, like friggin' Howie Roseman is hands off? Is Rob Thompson hands off? Do we not go that way? I mean, at what point do we say it's the manager? Like we said last year. I don't know. I'm just saying. Could it be the injuries? Obviously, it's the injuries. Could it be the fact that the Phillies are not that good? They're an 87-win team. Yeah, it could be that too. I don't know. But right now, in this course, 15 games in, and I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm not listening to it's early crap. I'm not, because it's 15 games in, and this team is sinking faster than a Titanic on an early April night. All right? We got to get this thing figured out. Something has to happen. some changes. I don't know what those changes are. But when is Rob Thompson going to start getting the accountability or being held accountable for this crappy product that he's throwing out there on the field? Just saying. Yeah. Jeff says he's done. Jeff, don't be done, man. Come on, we're 2 weeks in. We got many more nights of frustration ahead of us, man. You can't be throwing the towel in. It's not even my birthday is not even here yet. And we can't be doing that, man. Come on, Jeff, hang in there with me. Hang in there, I promise. Last year, I said the same exact rant multiple times through April and May. And look where it took us. Took us to the World Series. So, hang in there with me, man. Walter says, go Sixers. Yeah, that was an outstanding, Sixers are a way better team than the Nets, but definitely handled their business today. And don't forget those Philadelphia Stars. Yeah, they're handling their business, or they were when I went on the air. But other than that, other than the Phillies, it was a pretty productive Philadelphia sports day, I have to say. All right. So, as I mentioned, tomorrow the Phillies will attempt to try to salvage this series and get a split. Aaron Nola, who's had his issues, he'll be going for the Phillies, and he'll be opposed by Luis Cessa. It's a 1:40 start time out there in Cincinnati. Phillies Reds, as they wrap this bad boy up, and we can head off to the south side of Chicago and battle them pesky White Sox on Monday. But yeah, and don't forget, if you have any workman's compensation, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or criminal law questions, comments, or concerns, Dave Cherry is the man to call. 610-565-0300. Tell Dave at EOP Matty B and the Phightins Final sent you, and he will take great care of you. And also for your ticket for your concert, sports, and theater venue ticket needs, look no further than Sherry's Ticket Town at www.sherrystickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. No hidden fees and great prices. Don't forget, save an additional 10% when you enter the EOP promo code. I'm sorry, the promo code EOP10. And that will be Sherry will take care of you, or the people of Sherry's Tickets Down take good care of you. And there you have it, folks. 13-0. I am going to run some stats by you because that's what I do. As I mentioned the Phillies were at this point last season 6-9, 5-10 right now. And some of the problems the Phillies are having this year are again not that surprising because they were having the same exact problems last year. Today, Phillies were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Again, that is, man, I've been riding that thing. And this team over the last 2 seasons has been just putrid when it comes to driving in runs and situational hitting. I thought Trey Turner was going to alleviate some of that. It hasn't up to this point. But right now in the season, the Phillies are 32 for 138 with runners in scoring position. It's about a 231 batting average. Just god awful. Here's a stat that's starting to rear its ugly head that wasn't necessarily rearing its ugly head last year, and that's the walks. Phillies pitchers have given up 66 walks so far through 15 games. It's about 4.5 walks a game versus contrary to the 41 walks the team has worked, which is about 3 a game. So 66 walks, 7 more walks today. Phillies pitching has given up. Again, you're not going to win too many games that way, folks. The Phillies are being outscored right now, 86-61 on the season, almost a 2-1 clip right now. They're pretty much it's just bad. It's just really bad. The strikeouts, Phillies have struck out as a team 144 times so far this season, close to 10 strikeouts a game. They're averaging. The Phillies pitchers are averaging about 9 strikeouts a game as they've struck out 131 batters. And the Phillies as a team have grounded into 11 double plays in 15 games, which is about 3/4 worth of that stat. So just really some really uninspiring numbers as you look at the Phillies right now through 15 games. And the only thing you can do, and that's the beautiful thing about baseball, folks, is that tomorrow there will be another game, and tomorrow's another opportunity to pull ourselves out of it. It's also another opportunity to lose 13-0. But let's err on the side of pulling ourselves out of it, getting back in that W column, salvaging this series, moving on to Chicago, and getting this thing back on track where it needs to be. Until we talk again tomorrow, which we will. It won't be me, I don't think. It's going to be somebody else. But until we talk again, go Phils, and hang in there, folks. It's only 15 games in.